Ohio field hockey returns home after being on the road for 2 straight weekends. They went 1-2 over that road stretch. They welcome the Longwood Lancers to Pruitt Field for the first home Mid-American Conference game of the 2019 season. Hello, everybody. My name is Noah Wolf. I'm joined by Brad Walker. And, Brad, what a beautiful day for field hockey.
Yeah, I could not ask for much better. You got the sun rising underneath the Hocking River, which sits right behind Pruitt Field. Love this on a Saturday. It's action not only over on the football fields, but on the field hockey fields today.
And Longwood is not a team that you would expect to be in the Mid-American Conference on the football field. But when it comes to field hockey, they are one of the affiliate members of the MAC.
They are. The MAC is very diverse in the field hockey department, with teams like Appalachian State and Longwood being thrown in the mix, but just makes for more exciting coverage of schools that we don't normally see during conference play.
And so let's talk about those Longwood Lancers, the team from Farmville, Virginia. They're 5-4 this season, 1-0 in the Mid-American Conference. A strong road win this past Tuesday at William and Mary. But for Longwood, it's been all about their defense this season.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, this is a team that the most goals they've given up in a game is 3 goals. And if you look at Ohio, that has been one of the weaker parts of their team of late, has been the defense. But for Longwood, they have one of the best goalies in the nation in Katie Wyman. She is currently first in Division I in save percentage. She is undeniably one of the best goalies in field hockey right now. So that's going to be a real tall task for Ohio to overcome. But like we mentioned before we started the broadcast, that is something that they are good at, is scoring goals. So that's what they'll try to take advantage of today.
Right. It's somewhat of that unstoppable force of the Ohio offense against the immovable object of the Longwood defense. Longwood is the best in the MAC in terms of goals allowed per game, but Ohio best in the MAC in terms of goals scored per game. Ohio averaging 2.71 goals per game this season. Like I said, that's the best in the MAC. Kendall Ballard has been leading the way for this Ohio team as expected.
Yeah, absolutely unstoppable. After her redshirt season last year, she has come back in full force. Ohio obviously has loved to have her out on the field. Kendall's played great along with a lot of other attackers. Leah Warren was actually a former player of the week just a few short weeks ago, considering she had 2 goals and a game-winning goal against Appalachian State. There's a lot of weapons on this offense for Ohio, but it'll have to be key that their defense can stay on the same page as Longwood if they want the opportunity to win.
Ballard and Warren tied for the most goals on this Ohio team. They each have 4, averaging .57 goals per game, which is good for 3rd in the MAC. They're both tied for 3rd in the Mid-American Conference. But Kendall Ballard also has 4 assists, tied for 2nd in the MAC in assists per game, and she's leading the conference in points per game. She's got 12 points over Ohio's first 7 games for a points per game number of 1.71. So it's Ballard and Warren in that Ohio defense versus the tough, stingy, or that Ohio offense, versus the tough, stingy defense of Longwood in Katie Wyman, who's leading the pack for the Lancers. Another thing to think about with this Longwood team is they're somewhat untested on the road. They've had a lot of home games. In fact, the entire month of September, they were all at home for their 6 games in September.
And it's kind of the opposite for Ohio. I mean, they've spent their last 3 games on the road, so now they're back at Pruitt Field, back in Athens in front of that home crowd. But you nailed it right on the head. They are untested on the road, just a few road games so far this year. Playing an Ohio team with a high-powered offense, a solid crowd at Pruitt Field today, they're going to have a lot to stack up against today for Longwood.
Yeah, I think the key to this one is who's going to come out stronger right away. Is it going to be the Longwood defense that holds firm immediately, or is the Ohio offense going to be able to put in a couple goals in the first period and really set the tone?
Exactly, and since it's the big force of the Longwood defense facing the offense of Ohio, it's which team can really use their strength the best. Because if you are considering it's just 2 completely different teams as far as how they win games, you have to be sure that your offense, how good it is better than their defense at its highest point. And it's great to think about how early in the game, how it can make a difference.
In terms of the Longwood offense, though, they are able to score some goals this year. They've put in 15 goals in the back of the net in their first 9 games, more than 1 per game. In terms of who's getting it done, it's Carly Harwood and Sophia Loescher They both have 4 goals and no assists, tied for the team lead in goals as well as points. But, they've had other people step up for that offense as well. Olivia Wozniak, 3 goals and an assist this season. And she's firing the ball at the net like almost nobody else. 42 shots, 26 of them on goal.
You love to have that aggressiveness as an offensive player, and especially if you're Longwood, to have a player that is willing to shoot all the time and just attack the goalie and wear them down. Because on the defensive side, you're going to be good. You have one of the best goalies in the conference. You can let that slide so you can be more aggressive. That's why this Longwood team on offense can kind of be more relaxed and take more opportunities because their defense is so good. So that'll just lead the way into openings for their offense.
And the similar player for Ohio that's leading that offense, we said her name already, in Kendall Ballard, in terms of the goals and the assists that she's putting up. But she is relentless towards other goalkeepers as well. 31 shots this season in the 7 games that she has played and started. And that's another key. Not only can she score, she can assist, but the way that she does it is just by consistently taking those shots.
Yes, you have to constantly put the pressure on, and Kendall Ballard knows that. She is a multiple All-MAC performer. She loves to be the head of this team, and because she missed last year, eager to really leave her mark in her senior season for Ohio, and she's also a great job of piloting this offense. One of the best in assists in the MAC. She'll guide the way, make sure other of her teammates can score goals, but she is, as you mentioned, relentless, always trying to get points on the board for Ohio.
In terms of the Ohio defense, that was one of the things you mentioned, has not been as firm as of late. Last 3 games for Ohio, they let in 5 goals at Kent State, 7 at number 2 Duke, so that's understandable when you're traveling on the road to one of the best teams in the country. And then they let in 5 goals at Appalachian State. But the 2 games before that, they had shutouts. A win over Lock Haven 4-0 and a win at Davidson 3-0. So how does Ohio kind of turn their defense around back to the success that they were having earlier in the season?
Well, I think you just have to stay calm and think back to those first few games where you're able to get some shutouts. Have your offense do its thing, put the pressure on Longwood, and keep it on that side of the turf. Because you don't want your defense to be worn down with the Longwood shots. Just keep constantly putting pressure. See if you can catch some breaks against Longwood's goalie and possibly put some points on the board. And that's the thing, is going to be the offense making sure that it is taking over, keeping possession more so that way the defense isn't relied on too much.
When I asked Allie Johnstone about the key to the defensive success early on this season, she said it was all about the press. All about the forwards, making sure that the opposing defenders have pressure on them so that A, your defenders don't have to work as hard, but B, the ball is never on your defensive side of the field, or it's there as little as possible if the press is working the way that it's supposed to.
Exactly. You want to push it on the offensive side at all times. Whether you're actually taking shots or not, you just want to be out of your defensive hands so that way you don't have to rely on that aspect, because Ohio knows that the strong part of this team is on the offensive side.
Yeah, there's plenty of pressing that this Ohio team is going to be able to do. Like I said, that was the key to their defensive success early on in the season. But you look at the defensive line, too. You've got some key players back there. Amy Edgerton and Anne-Marie Hoppel leading the way with their experience on the back line. But Wesley Littlefield has been key in that right back role for Ohio this season.
Yeah, the freshman stepping up big, and you love to see that if you're head coach Allie Johnstone, with young players coming into a sport that predominantly is going to be dominated by the upperclassmen. The freshman making her mark known early could be a big defensive standout for Ohio, not only this year, but over the course of her 4 years.
And then Sophia Boothby, the goalkeeper for Ohio in her redshirt senior season, she's had to deal with a lot of pressure from a lot of high offensive teams. Longwood doesn't have as much offense. Do you think a little bit of pressure is off of Boothby today?
I think it is, and she's having her best career statistically to date in her redshirt senior year. And because Longwood is known for their defense and not really pushing the authority, I think the offense will help her out tremendously today, and she'll have a great day at the net.
And Boothby from Spotsylvania, Virginia, a little bit of this is almost like a rivalry game for her from this Longwood team coming from her home state.
Yeah, there's a few Virginia players for Ohio, and I know they are really eager to go out and get a victory against another Virginia team. So those Virginians, it's a little chip on their shoulder today, a little fun way to add into what already is some great action. Yeah,
there's the high stakes already of the game being for a pivotal spot in the Mid-American Conference. Let's take a look at the MAC standings. Right now, Miami sits atop. They're 2-0 in the MAC. Kent State tied for the top spot as well with 2 wins and no losses. And then Longwood right behind them, 1-0 in the Mid-American Conference since the Lancers had a bye weekend in terms of conference play last weekend. Ohio right in the middle at 1-1. And they lead App State and Ball State, who are each 1-2, and then Central Michigan at the bottom, currently sitting at 0-3. But that Central Michigan game between Longwood and Central, that's the only MAC game that Longwood has played this season. And the Lancers won that one 1-0.
And that game was at home for the Lancers as well, so that could be somewhat of a preview coming into tonight or today. So we'll have to see how good this Ohio defense can step up today.
Looks like we're moments away from introducing the starters and hearing the national anthem. The Ohio Bobcats sitting at 4-3 overall, 1-1 in the Mid-American Conference, taking on the Longwood Lancers, 5-4, 1-0 in MAC play.
Umpires for today's game, Stuzy Stammer and Aaron McGuire Austin.
We'll turn it over to PA announcer Connor Mills as he introduces the starting lineups.
Now let's meet the starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Longwood Lancers. For the Lancers, a sophomore, number 2, Luna Lopez. A freshman, number 3, Mila Duarte. A sophomore, number 5, Rio Weber. A junior, number 11, Carly Harwood. A sophomore, number 14, Sophia Loescher. A junior, number 17, Charlotte Wilm. A redshirt senior, number 21, Carla Machini. A junior, number 23, Cami Toddy. A senior, number 24, Olivia Wardzinak. A senior, number 28, Brianna Green. And a redshirt senior, number 99, Katie Wyman. And now, the coaches for the Longwood Lancers, Ian Byers, who is assisted by Laura Malewinski, Annie Zinkovich, and Megan Miller. And now for your Ohio Bobcats. The starting lineup, a redshirt senior from Spotsylvania, Virginia, number 1, Sophia Boothby. A junior from Louisville, Kentucky, number 7, Emma Spinetto. Redshirt senior, Charlottesville, Virginia, number 9, Kendall Ballard. Sophomore, Louisville, Kentucky, number 10, Ashley Roper. A senior from Perth, Western Australia, number 12, Brittany Keene. A senior from Louisville, Kentucky, number 13, Amy Edgerton. A junior from Fredericksburg, Virginia, number 17, Anne-Marie Hoppel. A junior, Lebanon, Ohio, number 18, Julian Shine. A senior from Falls Church, Virginia, number 20, Corinne Baker. A junior from Hamilton, New Zealand, number 21, Leah Warren. And freshman from Oakland, Maine, number 24, Wesley Littlefield. Head coach for the Ohio Bobcats is Allie Johnstone, who's assisted by Louisa Body and Kieran Mitten. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to ask you to please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
We're moments away from the first touch between Ohio and Longwood. The home MAC opener for the Bobcats, sitting at 1-1 in conference against the Lancers, 1-0 this season in the MAC. Before we get started, Brad, what are your keys to this one?
Well, I think Ohio just has to consistently press on offense. You can't rely on your defense doing too much because the defense has been kind of struggling of late. So in order to help that out, make sure your offense is consistently pressuring all game long.
All right, it's all about the press from Brad Walker. I think Allie Johnstone would agree with you on that. The other thing that Coach Johnstone mentioned to me in a midweek conversation with her was that just something about the communication wasn't quite there in the game against Kent State. It was a 5-1 loss, and the team took that one pretty hard.
Yeah, well, you know, you're back at home, you're in a comfortable setting, so that should help out as far as communication goes, where you're a little more relaxed and you're facing another MAC opponent after a couple of tough losses. So Ohio looking to go on the upward trend, and just make sure you're talking, communicating throughout the whole game in a relaxed setting like we are at home.
Ohio in their huddle before we get started. Ohio in green today with white lettering and numbering on those green jerseys. Black shorts, tall green socks for the Bobcats. They'll move from right to left and have control first. Longwood in their road white jerseys, blue shorts, and tall white socks for the Lancers. Ohio will get things started as Jillian Shive touches back to Kendall Ballard, and we are underway between Longwood and Ohio. Ballard gives it away, and Longwood tracking down the left side. The Lancers looking for some early action through Harwood. Now they'll work it back. Machini on the right wing. Goes forward, but Spinetto steps in for Ohio. Edgerton back to Spinetto. Edgerton loses her stick and the whistle blows. It'll be a Longwood free hit from just outside the 25. This
will be the first early test for that Ohio defense.
Machini takes the free hit, decides to go backwards. Duarte looking forward for Machini, but the run wasn't there. And Ohio will have control as that one goes out over the end line. Looking forward for Keene. Keene has it. And misplaced pass there. Longwood now tracking down the middle of the field. Green nearly dispossessed by Hoppel. Foul called on Longwood. Ohio free hit. Spinetto with some room to run down the left side. Looks forward. Jillian Shive working one-on-one, and the whistle blows. Free hit for Ohio. Shive takes it quickly, looks for Spinetto, but the pass is misplaced. Down the right side, here comes Wozniak for Longwood. Wozniak dispossessed, but that's an Ohio foul. Into the 25 comes Vilm. Vilm gets around one defender. Boothby out. Defensive save. And it'll be a long corner for Longwood.
That was a great defensive work there. Boothby coming out of goal and luckily had defenders behind her able to ricochet that shot out.
Lopez to the left side. Works its way all the way back to Lopez. Longwood is being very deliberate with the way that they're playing the ball. They don't want to force anything in too quickly.
Of course not, and this will be a game of possession today, and early on you can tell that Longwood wants to keep it on the offensive side of things.
Baker forces it out, and Ohio tries to move it forward quickly. But Longwood comes away with the ball. Luna Lopez stepped in defense. The Lancers seem determined to keep possession in any way they can, whereas Ohio, when they have the ball, they're trying to be aggressive. Edgerton gives it away. Into the middle for Wozniak. And the whistle blows against Longwood. Ohio free hit. Forward pass given away. Duarte stepped in. Now the right side, Vilm. Looking forward for Wozniak. And it's off her foot and out of play. Just about 5 minutes into this one. No score yet between Longwood and Ohio. Machini back to Lopez, over to the left side for Weber.
Longwood at the moment is doing a great job of keeping things in their control. They're really controlling the pace of this game and what side of the ball is on.
Machini sprints inside the 25. Good defensive play by Spinetto to take it away. But a free hit will go Longwood's way inside the 25. Dangerous position, but Longwood decides to play it back instead of trying to get it inside the circle. Weber gets around Baker. Inside the 25 comes Weber. Low hit, scooped up by Edgerton. She'll find Kendall Ballard. Warren for Shive. Shive controls, tipped out of bounds. Still Ohio ball. Shive continuing to press forward. Too far for Caitlin Whittle. Edgerton pushes that one out of play. As Longwood continues to move up the field. Verhappen taken away. And some dangerous play in the middle of the 25. It'll be a free hit in a dangerous position for Longwood. Taken quickly by Green. Green running into some tough defense, and Kendall Ballard earns the free hit for Ohio. Ballard to Baker, looking forward for Shive, and Shive does end up getting there, even though the ball was tipped. Ballard brings it down. Goes forward for Warren. The New Zealander is dispossessed, but a whistle blows, and Ohio will earn a free hit. Ballard, Spinetto, plays it inside the circle. Baker, and Ohio whistled for the infraction. Some good positive energy, though, there for Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio, that was the first time they had a great offensive attack and pushing things, and that's what Ohio needs to do more of, and just keep it on their offensive side of things and stay aggressive like that. Their defense is bending a little bit, but not breaking at all. So right now, Ohio's looking pretty solid.
Longwood plays it back. The Lancers continue to be focused on keeping possession. A little bit of pressure from Corinne Baker, but the Lancers able to keep the ball. Tipped out of bounds there off the stick of Caitlin Whittle. Lopez. Weber. A little bit of defensive pressure there from Ohio, but couldn't take the ball away.
Ohio seems to be settling for this, with Longwood just playing a more possession style in the backside of the field. And you're all right with this. They're not getting super aggressive, not attacking you closely. And for the most part, Ohio is just keeping the ball on that side of the field.
That pass too long for Charlotte Vilm, and Ohio gets possession back. Littlefield will introduce it. Looking forward, but Ballard is able to keep the ball with Ohio. Hoppel tried to play forward, taken away by Vilm. Longwood seems very content to pass it around in the back. They've tried some forward entry passes, some forward runs in general, but Longwood just trying to keep possession. It bites them here, though, as Ohio wins the ball. Hoppel trying to push it forward. Finds Ballard. Ballard ever dangerous. Introduces it into the circle. Touched away by Wyman, and that'll be a penalty corner.
And this is what happens if you consistently keep that ball on the side of the field. Ohio is going to eventually break through, get a steal, and then since they're already on that side of the field, they can be super aggressive with it. Now set up with a prime opportunity to get the first goal.
Penalty corners have been key for this Ohio team. It's how they scored the majority of their goals in their last victory at Appalachian State. Hoppel will be the one to introduce it. Hoppel, it's stopped. Ballard gets around one defender, another, and it's tipped in. Ohio scores. Corinne Baker with the goal. The assist from Kendall Ballard, and Ohio takes a 1-0 lead with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Perfectly executed play right there for Ohio. Everything was crisp and smooth. Ballard had a wide open spot to the goal and then nicely laid it into Baker, and she topped it off, and Ohio is on top. And there is what Ohio needs to do all game long. Keep things on that side of the field and stay aggressive with it when they're on offense.
Ohio with possession. Edgerton, Wilbur, Littlefield.
That was a goal for the Bobcats. Goal scored by Corinne Baker, assisted by Kendall Ballard. That Bobcat fans, stand up and cheer. We've got some T-shirts.
Into the box comes Longwood, or into the circle, excuse me. And it's dealt with by Ohio. But Ohio concedes a penalty corner. And just like that, the tides turn a little bit.
Yeah, now Longwood has a chance to equally match the offense for Ohio, and that's how they're going to stay in this game, is their offense trying to play on the same level as Ohio's.
Lopez set up at the top of the circle for the Lancers. And one of the Lancers stepped into the circle early on the penalty corner, so they'll have to do it again.
Just so excited for that penalty corner to happen. Just got a little eager running into the circle.
Verhappen will take the corner. Longwood discusses their strategy. It's Lopez and Vilm at the top of the 25. Entered in, goes to the left side. Here's Vilm. Shot deflected. Lopez keeps it there. Low cross in. And Ohio deals with it successfully as they earn a free hit.
Communication looked pretty good right there, Noah. We know that was a big point in their game against Kent State. Well, they seem to be chatting quite well on the defensive side of things. Longwood couldn't get much of anything going in that corner.
And it seemed like every time one of the Longwood players wanted to hit it, there was an Ohio defender right there. Leah Warren with some physical play in the middle of the field to win the ball back, but ends up giving it away. Good step in there by Littlefield, but she's whistled for the foul. And Longwood just continues to press forward, trying to catch Ohio on the back foot. Green to the left side for Vilm for Longwood. Ohio leading 1-0 with just over 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's a miscommunication there by the Lancers as it goes all the way out over the end line on a back pass, and Ohio earns a long corner.
Let's go, Ohio!
Ballard. Free hit whistled, and it goes against Kendall Ballard. Longwood with possession. They'll move forward. Wozniak down the left side, working against Littlefield. Through the legs of Littlefield, but Wozniak still with it, and it goes wide of post.
Longwood going with more of an aggressive approach on offense at the moment. They tried to settle back into the relaxed position, but a miscue with the ball going out of bounds. But they really push it there, and they've done that in their last 2 chances and have had some solid shots.
Looked like Boothby was in the right position had that one been on target. But Wozniak just couldn't put it on the cage. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. And it again goes out over the end line on a back pass. Ohio with a long corner. Spinetto trying to work her way into the circle. She does. Some screams for a penalty corner by the Ohio faithful, none given. And Longwood earns a free hit on their side of the field.
It'll be interesting to see how Longwood approaches this offensive cycle, to see if they just try to stay in position or if they go aggressive.
Baker steps in. The shot from Keene was a little bit off target. Keene looked off balance trying to wrangle that one.
I'm really liking the aggressiveness out of Ohio. Anytime they start to get some touches after the tough loss against Kent State, you want to come out with some energy and excitement, and that's done nothing but energize this defense.
Baker has gotten a strong dispossession on the right side
1 minute left to play.
2 times in a row. And this is the press that Coach Allie Johnstone talked about. You talked about it too, Brad. Nearly leads to an opportunity there for Ohio inside the circle. Instead, some strong defense from Longwood, and they're able to push up the field. Ryan down the left side for the Lancers, trying to work it forward. And Longwood awarded with a free hit. Inside the 25, or just outside. Dangerous play. The free hit goes Ohio's way. 15 seconds in the first quarter. Ohio with a 1-0 advantage over Longwood. And the last couple seconds will tick off the clock here at Pruitt Field. And Ohio will go into the first quarter break with a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, Ohio looked very aggressive on defense. Kind of took a minute for them to settle in, considering Longwood was trying to keep with a lot of possession and keep it in the pace in their hands. But once Ohio was starting to figure out the X's and O's and hop into different passing lanes, they were aggressive, ended up getting 1 goal out of it. A few slip-ups on defense because of that aggressive press style that Ohio was playing, but for the most part, they've been able to get back at it, running people down, and Boothby's done a good job of holding down the cage.
Ohio 1, Longwood 0, end of the first quarter. We'll be back for the second quarter here on Bobcat TV. Ohio will start the second quarter with possession, as well as the lead, a 1-0 advantage for the Bobcats. And looks like Ohio wanting to play that same aggressive style that they did in the first quarter. Ball taken away, though, and Longwood trying to press forward. Harwood gets it taken away. Warren for Ohio tries to find Baker a little bit too long. Brittany Keene giving it chase over toward the right sideline, but it goes out of play.
Ohio coming out hot to start this period.
That aggressive style has been championed by Ohio in that first quarter, definitely. It's kind of a tale of 2 different styles so far. Whistle blows and Longwood earns a free hit, but most of what we've seen from the Lancers has been conservative, possession-based hockey. Most of what we've seen from the Bobcats has been aggressive, fast-paced hockey. And
it seems like Longwood is starting to fall into the realm of the aggressive play, and it's what has happened to be mishaps that's led to Ohio's success and opportunities such as this one.
Spinetto saved, and before that a whistle blows to give Longwood the free hit. But Ohio has been turning little bouts of possession into some serious chances. Down the right side, Verhappen. Stepping in, there was Edgerton. Couldn't keep possession, but Ohio does get possession back. Longwood trying to drive the ball over the 25, but the whistle blows. Free hit for Ohio to be taken by Wilbur. She pushes forward. Solid pass to Hoppel, who tries to find Shive up ahead. Goes out of play. Still with Ohio. Hoppel dispossessed over the end line, long corner. Ballard to take it. Kendall Ballard gets the ball back. Goes down the right side. Swept in. Ohio keeps it inside the circle. Whistle blows, though, and it's a Longwood free hit.
Ohio just spending majority of time, whether it's inside or around the circle, just always pushing the envelope, trying to get that next goal, cutting off a ton of passing lanes for Longwood.
And that's key, too, is that when Ohio goes forward, they really commit to going forward. They've got a lot of bodies inside the 25 right now and inside the circle whenever they can get the ball in the circle. Baker takes a deflection. And Baker's defense just a little bit too aggressive that time. Longwood free hit.
Ohio playing almost with a ears pinned back mentality. Once they get things rocking and rolling towards the offensive side, everyone is committed, going for that circle. And it's definitely showing that Longwood has to play a step back, and they're just trying to get back to their identity of being a more possession team and let the game play out, pick and choose their chances.
But Ohio's press really isn't letting them keep the ball.
Yeah, it's not letting them think. It's forcing them to try to play out of their shell, and that's why Ohio is continually on the offensive approach.
Spinetto takes it back for the Bobcats. Warren keeps it. Ohio free hit taken quickly. Ballard sweeps it inside the circle. Nobody on the end of it, though.
You do like that if you're Ohio, though. Continue to take chances. They've had plenty of them thanks to this press defense, which is playing on Longwood like a glove at the moment.
Yeah, the press has been key. It was good in the first quarter, but it's been on another level in the second quarter.
I think they learned from that, the first part of this game, figuring out Longwood, and they have done so, and now they're just going full force into it, not looking back, having everyone on the pitch really communicating well and on the same page.
Shive comes off for the Bobcats, and Caitlin Whittle comes on. Quick substitution. Baker steps into a passing lane there and gets the ball back for Ohio, but she misplays that pass, and Longwood able to take over. Harwood down the left side. Gets it into the circle. Good defense. Looked like Amy Edgerton to sweep the ball out of the circle and clear the danger.
There's just some solid defense on the attack side of things for Ohio at the moment. We've seen the press. We've seen them on their side of the field, but not really backed up too much today. And we mentioned that it was in the pregame. That's one of the biggest things Ohio has to focus on the rest of the game is let their offense energize the defense.
Warren gives it away. Spinetto wins it back temporarily, but only as far as Verhappen. Warren taps it away from Verhappen, and it's an Ohio free hit. Edgerton goes forward for Whittle. Taken away, but Spinetto continues to battle. And Spinetto earns a free hit for Ohio. green card issued to Olivia Wozniak. She'll have to sit for 2 minutes. See if Ohio can take advantage of their player advantage. 11 on 10 for the next 2 minutes.
As if they weren't already trying to just push the issue on offense, there's another reason to do so considering they're up one person.
Out of play, and Longwood will earn the free hit. There have been times in this game, especially the second quarter, where it seemed like Ohio has had more players on the field just by the way they're able to control the game and step into those passing lanes. Now they do have more players on the field. 11 on 10 for the next 90 seconds or so.
Exactly, with that, and they can be even more aggressive with trying to cut off passes, knowing that that extra person can be used in the backside on defense in case a fallout happens.
Ohio gets possession back. Whittle plays it inside the circle. Nobody there. Looked like it was tapped away from Caitlin Whittle. Ohio. There's some confusion as to where the ball is supposed to be placed and who's supposed to have it. First, Longwood thought they get a free hit. Then the whistle was blown, and Ohio thought they got a long corner. But in the end, it ends up being a Lancer free hit. There's a battle on the far side for possession. And Ohio will have it. Ballard to the left side for Edgerton. Sweeps it inside the circle. Whittle with a quick shot. Good save there by Katie Wyman.
Even though Ohio is just really on that attack, Katie Wyman is a staple of this Longwood defense, one of the best goalies in the MAC, and proving why she is right there.
Edgerton trying to keep the ball there. Longwood able to deal with the danger a little bit. Clara Machini was key on defense for the Lancers. Machini again. Tipped out of play. Ohio ball, Spinetto. Back to Edgerton. Looking for, that's Hoppel. And she had it. Ohio still with possession, Littlefield. Hoppel fighting for it. And it goes out over the touch line. It'll be a Longwood entry, and now here comes Ohio. They'll earn the free hit. Leah Warren re-enters for Ohio as Emma Spinetto jogs off. Longwood quickly steps into the first pass from Ohio. Still 1-0 Ohio with 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Kendall Ballard rushes back on defense. And Wesley Littlefield doing some impressive defensive possession there to not only keep the ball, but force the issue forward and give it to that strong Ohio attack.
And even though Wozniak was trying to push out into the open field, there was 4 Bobcats around her, and then Kendall Ballard really rallied that huddle in order to get the steal. So there goes to show that Ohio's defense is obviously communicating really well today and on the same page.
Bucky gives it away. Hoppel steps in, tries to win it back. And a free hit given to Ohio. Down the left side for Longwood comes Schouten. Floor Schouten inside the circle. And it goes Ohio's way.
Now Longwood is trying to go the approach of just like Ohio, trying to get super aggressive, get up and down the field, because the way they were playing, just trying to slow things down and be in possession, wasn't quite working because of the press defense by the Bobcats. So they are now going to try to push the tempo up a little bit.
Edgerton looking forward for Whittle, but the pass was intercepted. Whittle forcing that press on Longwood, really giving a hard time to Camila Duarte. Longwood able to keep possession, force it inside the 25. Trying to work it inside the circle, but a misplaced pass from Cami Toddy gives Ohio possession once again. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Ohio 1, Longwood nothing. Warren dispossessed, but a foul called. And Warren takes the free hit quickly. Looks to the left side, but it's too long for Taylor Hansen. The two New Zealanders just couldn't quite connect there.
Yeah, Warren really wanted to go after Hansen when Warren was in the middle of the field and Hansen was sprinting down the sideline, had a wide open lane, but a nice job by the Longwood defense to cut it off, and that kind of really kind of ended that possible opportunity.
Warren forces it inside the circle. Quick Longwood defense there. It was Clara Machini who stepped in. She's been kind of that anchor of the Lancer defense so far today. Baker sweeps it over for Hansen. Hansen inside to Keene, but a foul called. And Ohio had a great chance inside the circle there, but couldn't keep possession.
Yeah, that was a wonderful opportunity, a one-on-one situation that Ohio could have possibly went up another point. They're doing a nice job of getting their lanes wide open down each side of the sidelines and getting some open passes.
Under 2 minutes to play. Ohio looking for another goal here. Baker inside the circle. Baker passes it back. Bucky with a long shot that's deflected. Baker keeps it in. And it goes on a play for a long corner. Corinne Baker, I think, arguing for something more. That one out of play off Ohio. So Longwood will take possession down their left side, looking for an equalizer right before half. They'll get a free hit toward the middle of the field.
1 minute left to play.
Get a goal, Ohio.
Brittany Keene steps in for Ohio. Can she keep it in? She does. Trying to work it inside the circle, but she's dispossessed. But Ohio earns a free hit. Taylor Hansen works it inside the circle, looking for Warren. And ultimately, it's Floor Shooten who takes it away.
Ohio going to really go full scale to the wall offense at the moment in the closing seconds.
Less than 30 in the half, less than 20 in fact. Whistle blows and Longwood takes a free hit. Poked forward for Ohio. And the buzzer sounds. We head into the halftime break with Ohio having a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, Ohio looked super strong through those first two periods. The ball was on their side of the field for the majority of the time, and the offense was just pushing, pushing, pushing. Same with the defense. Defense was creating a lot of opportunities for offense, and really means that they didn't have to worry about a lot of things on the opposite side of the field, and led for an easy opportunity for a lead.
Ohio 1, Longwood nothing at the end of the first half. We've got 30 more minutes of field hockey after a 10-minute break. We'll talk to you on the other side of halftime. Welcome back to Pruitt Field for the second half of Ohio Field Hockey versus Longwood. The Lancers will be traveling from right to left in this half. They'll start the second half with possession. They trail Ohio 1-0. As we get ready for the second half, Brad, what did you see from Ohio in the first half that they need to keep doing in the second half to get the victory?
Continue to keep up that press defense and stay to the nature of being aggressive. Always stay on the attack. It made Longwood feel uncomfortable, so much so that there was a lot of turnovers, a lot of dispossessions. In Ohio, it just felt like always had the ball. Even when they didn't, it was a few passes until they stole it away.
Baker brings the ball inside the 25 for Ohio early on. And Ohio will earn a free hit right about at the 25. Ballard quickly to Warren. Warren dispossessed. And here comes Longwood, but Spinetto takes it away. Ballard in for Warren, inside the 25, but again, some good defense there from Longwood. Ohio gets it back, though. Quick shot. Doesn't matter. Whistle blows. Stepping up in defense, though, Luna Lopez a couple of times was able to take the ball away from Leah Warren. That's a tough thing to do. When Leah Warren gets determined, she sometimes cannot be stopped.
Yes, it was a offensive player of the week just a few short weeks ago, and this got to give credit to Katie Wyman in the back line of the Longwood Lancers. They have been tested all game long, but Ohio has only been able to break through once, and it's felt like they've almost had the ball on this side of the field for the majority of the game.
Warren trying to get her way past two defenders, and she'll take the quick free hit, brings it inside the circle. Whistle blows, goes Longwood's way. Longwood has struggled to get past the Ohio press, but it looks like they get past it quickly here. Loescher traveling toward the middle of the field. Passes ahead down the left side for Harwood, and it's forced out of bounds. Ohio free hit.
Ohio, even though their main mindset is on offense, they're still doing a great job of hustling back and getting on defense when needed, and then immediately trying to push it up the field.
Longwood trying to push up the field. Brittany Keene steps in. She gets away around one defender, but not two. As Ohio just continuing to pester Cami Totti, and they eventually get the ball away. But the back line of Rio Weber steps in, gets the ball back for Longwood. Lancers have not had too much success in pushing the ball up the field. The Ohio defense has held firm when necessary. And there's an unforced error. As that shows you exactly what the Ohio press can do. It was Jillian Shive who stepped in, and a Longwood player misplayed the pass, so Ohio gets possession back in a dangerous area. They play it backwards. Littlefield back for Wilbur. Over to the left side. Edgerton. Now Spinetto. And a whistle blows. Rather, that's Jillian Shive on the left side. Shive surveying her options as to what to do with this free hit. Decides to take it herself. Ohio earns another free hit.
Ohio is just making Longwood feel uncomfortable and play out of their certain style that they prefer to have. Because of that, there's been some miscues by Longwood and also a plentiful of opportunities by the Bobcats.
Shive tries to work inside quickly. Keene shot saved. Katie Wyman continues to be firm in defense. She's got the best save percentage in Division I field hockey. And she stopped Emma Spinetto from point-blank range.
Yeah, and she shows why she is currently one of the best at the moment. There was nothing but daylight in front of the Ohio field hockey offense right there, but Wyman did a great job of being a brick wall and getting a big stop.
Now Vilm trying to push forward. Good save there by Boothby on the kick. quickly reintroduced. Vilm can't control it, and Ohio able to deal with the danger and press forward. Leah Warren has some room to run in the middle of the field. And Warren earns a free hit, takes it quickly, finds Keene. Keene inside the circle, gets around one defender, penalty corner. On one side of the field, Ohio dealing with a lot of pressure, but then they immediately get it out, press forward as fast as possible, and turn that situation around.
Exactly. Sophia Boothby starts it off with the nice save and then nice drawn-out run led by Leah Warren, but obviously has some help around her, and hence why Longwood was almost forced to throw in a penalty if they didn't want to give up the quick goal to Ohio.
Brittany Keene will take the penalty corner. Ballard, Warren, and Edgerton all in a bunch at the top of the 25. Keene, Edgerton stops it. Ballard, now Warren, flipped up and taken down. Another penalty corner. The Ohio offense will discuss their strategy again. This time it'll be Anne-Marie Hoppel to take the corner. Once again, Warren, Edgerton, and Ballard all at the top of the circle. Hoppel, stopped by Edgerton. Ballard controls, spins around. Quick shot there by Keene. Still bouncing around. And finally pushed out of play. So Longwood deals with the threat, but Ohio still has a chance. Ballard gives it away, looking for Hoppel down the left side. Keene wins it back, but she can't run straight through two defenders. Edgerton spins around a defender. Inside the circle, and the free hit will go Longwood's way. Longwood earns another free hit a little bit further up the field. Weber to take for Longwood, and the Lancers continue to play it safe. Passing around in the back before trying to push it forward. And now they'll do some running down the right side. Carolyn Verhappen with control as she pushes past the 25 inside the circle. Opportunity for Longwood, but they're whistled for an infraction. Now here comes Ohio. Hoppel gives it away. Into the box, or into the 25 comes Longwood. Mosher still with it. Edgerton steps in, tries to lift it past. Instead, whistled for a foul. Longwood pushes it out over the end line. And Ohio will have possession.
No need to panic for Longwood. You can continue to try to stay in the similar offense you're used to running, and eventually it should hopefully break out for Longwood.
And just like that, Ohio gives up a penalty corner.
Got this, Ohio!
Longwood has taken one penalty corner today. They could not convert the first time. We'll see if Ohio can deal with it again.
And Longwood has not gotten a lot of opportunities on the offensive side of things a lot today, so this is a key moment for them to possibly tie this thing up. It's
Vilm to take the free hit. At the top of the circle are Wozniak and Lopez. The Lancers continuing to talk things over.
I believe there's a time issue. No, the scoreboard clock has stopped, and they're just trying to figure out everything on the field.
Yeah, it's been reading 9:58 for quite some time.
We are essentially stuck in time, Noah. We will forever be in 9:58 to go in this game.
9:58 in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, yeah.
But I think I heard it's 7:22 left. There is another clock being capped. Free hit taken. Boothby saves. Vilm still trying to get something going. And there's a lot of congestion. And the whistle blows. Another penalty corner conceded by Ohio.
That was interesting that the penalty corner was called on Ohio, considering there was multiple bodies from both sides trying to get into, and Longwood trying to get a score. Ohio is trying to keep it out of the cage.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You've got to whistle something, but it's hard to see exactly what's going on. It'll be Vilm again. She goes short to Machini. Across. Swept in, but violation on Longwood, and Ohio successfully defends the penalty corner.
And there it was again, because Ohio has just been so offensively minded and it's had a lot of possession because of it. The defense has just had to been there in key moments and step up, and they have. And hence it's a small lead, but a doable lead for Ohio.
Warren to Whittle. Ohio trying to extend their lead now as Whittle works her way into the circle. Still there for Whittle, but Ohio commits a foul, and Longwood will earn a free hit. 1-0 Ohio. Third quarter. In the home MAC opener for the Bobcats. That pass a little bit too short for Littlefield, but she gets there eventually. Littlefield dispossessed by Loescher. Loescher working across the 25. Back in. Tapped away. Boothby comes out and kicks it away. What a save by Sophia Boothby. Still there for Longwood. Still a threat. Ballard steps in on defense. And Ohio will earn a free hit.
You love that aggressiveness out of your senior goalkeeper for Ohio. Was willing to step out a little bit just to be sure it didn't come in. Didn't want to stay back and wait for Longwood to possibly create their own opportunities. Just wipe it all away with the aggressive slide.
Ohio leading Longwood 1-0. As it's worked up forward for the freshman Whittle. Now Warren. Plays it forward. A long run by Hansen. Hansen puts it inside the circle. Shive gets a stick on it.
Nice, good idea.
But Longwood earns a free hit. That one looked promising there from Hansen to Shive.
And it did, and it's all set up from Warren to Hansen. They've really connected a few times today where Warren's been in the middle of the field and Hansen's come flying in on the near side, and Warren's been able to beautifully place in a pass.
Warren in the middle. And a green card shown to Brianna Green. So for the second time today, the Lancers will be at a man disadvantage. 11 players for Ohio, 10 for Longwood, as Ballard sweeps in a low, hard cross, goes out over the end line. Good idea, though, from Kendall Ballard.
Yeah, she was trying to give him the old razzle-dazzle look, the long shot, but unfortunately just didn't quite work out for Ohio. And the offensive opportunities have been a little minimal compared to what we saw in the first half, so why not try to shoot one from distance?
The forward pass for Wozniak, just too long. even for the Longwood team. And Ohio leads 1-0. We finally have a working clock again. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Ohio trying to add to their advantage. Spinetto working down the right side, trying to find Whittle. Tipped out of bounds. As Ohio tries to take advantage of their 11-on-10 situation here. Quick forward pass from Littlefield toward Shive, but just a bit too long for either Shive or Whittle. And Longwood will control. That one goes out as Longwood attempted to keep the ball in their own defensive half, but the press from Ohio just continues to give Longwood trouble.
Yeah, it does. It's making them uncomfortable. Longwood has almost figured it out a little more, playing more relaxed, it feels, in this half. But still, these miscues, like we just saw there, is not going to help your case at all. And if you're Ohio, you have to capitalize on it and possibly squeak out a final goal before the quarter ends.
Spinetto, Ballard, trying to find Warren inside the circle. Warren falls over, and she's whistled for the foul. So Longwood takes a free hit quickly, trying to find some offensive energy, sprinting forward through Jamie Wright. And a little bit of a defensive miscue there. Harwood has possession inside the 25, trying to find the circle. Harwood is inside the circle. Couple defenders there. Vilm tries to push something in, and Ohio ends up conceding a penalty corner.
Ohio did do a good job of swallowing up inside the circle, didn't allow Longwood to really have any opportunities. It's unfortunate that the penalty corner comes their way, but they did not allow an easy opportunity to the cage.
90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ohio leading Longwood, 1-0. Penalty corner to be taken by Harwood. Green at the top of the area. It will go to Green. Brianna Green swoops it, and it goes past Boothby. That was a hard shot from Brianna Green. It might have given Boothby trouble, but it did look like Sophia Boothby had the far side of the cage covered, which is where that shot was headed.
Boothby's done a good job all night of stopping a lot of shots in her direction. So Green there just trying to get it as far away from her as possible, aiming at the cage.
Harwood controls that one, but it goes over the end line. Ohio with another free hit. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ohio clinging to a 1-0 advantage. For the past 2 or 3 minutes, Ohio's had to defend constantly. But at the beginning of this quarter, they were able to play on their attacking half, which seems to be where this Bobcat team is more comfortable.
Yeah, just pushing the issue. Coach Johnstone preached about it. The press defense is what they love to play, and constantly trying to make runs to put pressure on the Longwood defense.
Ballard with a rare giveaway. She does get it back and keeps it in. Ballard looking for Baker. It's tipped out of bounds. Sometimes Kendall Ballard, with the way that she handles the ball, can just be a magician in keeping it for Ohio as this quarter comes to an end.
It's almost a now you see me, now you don't kind of move. The Kendall Ballard there juked her way between two defenders. She is quite fun to watch, and obviously someone that the Bobcats rely on heavily.
Quick impressions from the third quarter, Brad.
Well, Longwood seemed to be settling into more of their own groove during that quarter. Definitely had a lot more opportunities on the offensive end, but you can definitely still feel it that press defense is just giving them troubles. Ohio was unable to get as many steals and runs as they were in the first half, but we're still pushing that issue on offense just slightly more than Longwood was, and that's simply all they're going to have to do heading into this fourth.
Ohio 1, Longwood 0. As we head toward the fourth quarter, the final 15 minutes of field hockey will be coming up after this on Ohio Bobcat TV. Fourth quarter of field hockey coming up. Ohio leading Longwood 1-0 as they have been since the first quarter. And Ohio just continues to press forward to try to add to that advantage. But Longwood able to dispossess and move forward themselves. Lopez started this move, and this one tipped out of play for a Longwood long corner.
And this is going to be crucial for Longwood, who have not had too many opportunities on the offensive side of things, so have to be very strategic and methodical in how they go about it.
Ohio free hit one inside the circle. What's going to be the key for Ohio to hang on to this lead?
Well, I think they just continue to keep doing what they've been doing, pushing and pressing like they have all game long. Just continue to make Longwood feel uncomfortable, and that is when a team like Ohio can be at its best, is when the other just doesn't feel quite right or feel too swell in how the game is going. But right now, Longwood is coming out very aggressive in this fourth.
Just a little bit too long of a pass there from Green, looking forward. Goes out of play, so Ohio will keep the ball, or I suppose get the ball back. Ballard back for Wilbur. Spinetto down the left side. Looks forward for Keene. Ohio really pressing forward. Keene plays it off for Baker. What a save by Wyman. But a penalty corner conceded, but my, oh my, Katie Wyman.
That thing was a bullet coming off Baker's stick, but Wyman just flung the arm up in the air and perfectly swatted it down. That is why she is one of the best. Even in a situation like that, a wonderful shot by Baker was still stopped. Luckily, Ohio going to have another opportunity to possibly put another goal on the board.
Brittany Keene will take the penalty corner for Ohio. At the top of the circle, Spinetto, Edgerton, Warren, and of course Kendall Ballard. Keene. Warren. Long shot saved by Wyman. And Longwood will be able to turn it around and quickly press forward. Edgerton able to deal with it temporarily. Past Whittlefield toward Wozniak. Excuse me, Littlefield, Wesley Littlefield. And Ohio able to win the ball after it goes out of play. Ohio gives away a free hit here. Longwood works it inside the 25. Trying to find the circle. Sweep in, and Boothby can't get there. Carly Harwood equalizes for Longwood.
Good cross for Longwood, and then Harwood was just in the perfect scenario to give a quick hit into the back of the cage. Real unfortunate for Ohio, but the way Longwood has kind of come out in this second half and been a little more aggressive on offense, it took a big play like that and some crucial passing in order to get the goal. So we'll have to see if Ohio continues to try to stay aggressive with their offensive flow and defensive mentality, or if they tone it back a bit considering the game is tied.
12 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Ohio and Longwood tied at 1 after the Carly Harwood goal. That's her 5th of the season.
Longwood, scored by number 11, Carly Harwood.
She leads this Longwood team in goals. And Ohio has had plenty of opportunities. They're going to have to create some more to try to win this game. Ballard to take the free hit. Finds Baker. Surging past the 25. Baker crosses towards Whittle. And Whittle was apparently in the wrong spot. She gives away a free hit for the Lancers. That one out of play. Longwood couldn't control it. Ohio surging quickly inside the circle, but they give it away.
Ohio not really letting that goal phase them, still going ears pinned back and at the defense for Longwood.
Lopez goes to the right side for Longwood. Out of play. Lopez to the left side this time for Weber. Weber forward. Too long for Harwood. But they're able to keep it in play through Vilm. Vilm tripped up and given a free hit. Good play there by Charlotte Vilm to keep the ball in play. She takes the free hit quickly, tries to get it inside the circle. Ohio's defense is there and wins a free hit.
To set that up, Vilm did quite a nice job to get by some defenders and give Longwood an opportunity.
Bobcats quickly give it away, though, and the Lancers have possession again inside the 25. Ohio defender tripped up, giving the Bobcats another free hit, but they give it right away once again. Do you think this aggressiveness is starting to bite Ohio a little bit?
You know, it could be that it can create some holes on defense when you're pushing forward so much on offense. And Longwood, it seems like, is starting to realize that and trying to attack on their own in a ton of confidence considering they just scored.
Ohio takes it away with players in front. Corinne Baker. Whittle is past the defenders. Baker down the right side. Tries to find Whittle. In the middle. What a save by Wyman again. Still there. Wyman saves one more time. Warren tries to keep it inside the circle and earns a penalty corner for Ohio. Back-to-back saves there by Katie Wyman, though, keeps this game tied.
Yeah, she almost manned down the whole defense by herself. Wasn't letting anything get by her, but good job by Ohio to not get too nervous that they weren't getting goals, stayed composed, stayed within the circle, continued taking opportunities, and it worked out. A big opportunity set up for Ohio at the moment.
9 minutes, 13 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Ohio 1, Longwood 1. Short corner for the Bobcats, and this is a situation that Ohio really wants to think about to give themselves the best chance to score.
Ohio has been in some tight games this year already. This looks like it'll add to that list, and it'll be integral for them to get a goal at the moment.
Hoppel to take the free hit. Warren and Edgerton up near Kendall Ballard at the top of the circle. Stopped by Edgerton. Ballard. Warren. Shot deflected, and Longwood able to deal with it, but they give up another penalty corner in the process. So they stop one but give up another. How do you think Ohio might change their strategy here?
Well, you'd maybe just trying to go to a different side of it, maybe throw in a few more passes or simply shoot it earlier for Ohio. But if you're Longwood, now you're playing with your backs against the wall, and Ohio is playing as they were in that first half, just having nothing but opportunities in front of them, and we'll wait to see if they can capitalize. We're only able to do it once in the first half, and now plentiful more might be able to put in another goal.
Same sort of formation here for Ohio. In the penalty corner once again. Edgerton stops. Ballard to Warren again. Quick shot. Pass! Wyman and in goal! Ohio takes a 2-1 lead. Leah Warren. Her 5th goal of the season. Assist number 2 on the day for Kendall Ballard.
And in big moments, you stick to your big guns like Ballard, like Warren. Leah Warren has been able to score in big moments already this year. She does it yet again. Great job by Kendall Ballard, who able to set up the shot for Leah Warren, who throws it right in the back of the goal.
That's Ohio T-shirts.
Ohio still pressing forward as Taylor Hansen brings the ball across the 25. Given away, and Longwood will be even more desperately searching for a goal. They thought they did have the equalizer earlier on in this quarter, but then Ohio retakes the lead. Hoppel Forward for Baker. Claire Bucky gives it away. But Longwood with too long of a pass that time down the right side.
Right now, I'd shave him.
And Ohio has possession down their left side. In the middle for Hansen. Hansen finding Whittle. Caitlin Whittle toward the middle. Forward this time for Hoppel. And Ohio earns a free hit inside their 25. Hoppel
Nice job.
sweeps it in toward Whittle. Quick save by Wyman. And a free hit conceded.
And Wyman bobbled the ball in front of her. Almost was a huge mishap for Longwood, and Ohio was able to almost put in another goal.
I don't think she was expecting the shot that quickly.
No, and then luckily Ohio was right there to realize the ball was in front, and if it wasn't for that penalty for Ohio, that they could be seeing a 3-1 lead.
Free hit for Ohio. Hansen inside the 25. Goes back for Bucky. Bucky wins it back. Trying to find someone inside the circle. Shive. Whittle. Pressed out. Ohio has possession on the left side. Spinetto plays it in. Warren works her way into the circle. Quick shot deflected. And Longwood will try to press forward now. Stepping in defense is Ashley Wilbur. Wilbur able to keep it for Ohio.
Beautiful.
Warren. Still with Leah Warren. Tries to get it past one defender. A little bit of a mishap there on defense for Longwood. Spinetto still has it. In for Keene. Good save by Katie Wyman.
Yeah, nicely done.
Long corner for Ohio.
Wyman placed herself perfectly right there. There was two Bobcats right in front of the cage, so she attacked the one with the ball and be sure to kick it out and clear it out.
Leah Warren will take the long corner for the Cats. Finds Shive, but is quickly cleared by Longwood. 5.5 minutes to go. Ohio 2, Longwood 1. Ballard pushes it back to Wilbur. Now Littlefield playing up on the right side. And Littlefield, is touched out of play by a Vilm. Free hit for Ohio. Wesley Littlefield will take it. Down the right side for Hansen. Penalty corner. That was evidently touched out of play intentionally by Charlotte Vilm. That's a big no-no for defenders in field hockey.
No, and you just can't have that if your Longwood backs are already against the wall, especially as we're under 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. And Ohio, with a strong 2-1 lead, has done nothing but been on offense for the majority of this game. And now another chance for a huge goal for Ohio, and that would severely spike their confidence.
Yeah, good situation for Ohio here. A good scoring chance. And one more goal would almost certainly seal the deal. It's Hansen. Stopped by Spinetto. Edgerton keeps it, and Ohio gives it away. Longwood deals with the penalty corner and now tries to press up for some offense of their own. Wozniak inside the 25, inside the circle. Good last-ditch defense there by Ohio as they clear it out. Ashley Wilbur stepped in at the last moment. Pressing forward is Camila Duarte. She goes back for Weber. And Longwood will try something different. Brittany Keene steps in. Longwood earns a free hit to some dismay from the Ohio players. Inside the 25 comes Longwood. Controlled by Ryan. As she tries to find some space, can't find any. It goes out of play, Longwood ball. Ryan. Hit backwards. Still inside the 25. Kendall Ballard stepping in on defense. Unable to come up with it. Ohio eventually able to clear it out. Wesley Littlefield did a great job of stepping in that time and keeping the ball. Littlefield looking for Spinetto, no dice. Weber was able to work her way around a couple defenders. And Longwood regains control. Verhappen down the left side. Poked away by Spinetto, but it goes out of play. Verhappen to the middle for Duarte. She pushes it backwards for Lopez. Weber. Forward toward the end line. Swooped into the circle, and it goes all the way past. Ohio earns a free hit. Dangerous position there for Longwood. That looked awfully close to a scoring chance.
Yeah, that was the toughest test that Ohio's seen all game long, especially because it's super late in this fourth quarter, but they were able to stand strong, and that has to give them a boatload of confidence heading into the final few minutes.
Just over 2 minutes to play. Ohio leading by a goal. Forward for Keene. Keene able to win it. Ohio pressing inside the 25. Brittany Keene. Jillian Shive in the area as well. Leah Warren will try to win this one back after Luna Lopez was able to step in and take the ball away from Ohio. Littlefield whistled for a foul, and Longwood gives it away immediately. Hoppel in defense, or rather Ashley Wilbur, excuse me. Wilbur looking forward, and Ohio earns a free hit. Minute 15 to go. Ohio just needs to hang on to this 1-goal lead. Littlefield bodied up, absorbs the contact, and Ohio will have a free hit.
1 minute remaining.
Wilbur. Spinetto.
There you go. Move up
Plays
ball.
it forward. Goes out of bounds. Rio Weber with 45 seconds. Plays it in for Longfield. The Lancers are desperately looking for an equalizer, but it's pushed out of play. Ohio is kind of jogging toward the sideline, taking as much time off as possible. 30 seconds to play. Littlefield brings it in, gives it away. Green. Ohio whistled for a free hit. Longwood takes it. Vilm with 15 seconds. Vilm quickly tries to get it into the circle. Ballard steps in, and Ballard will try to hold possession for these final 10 seconds. 5 to go, still with Kendall Ballard. And that's going to do it. Ohio leads 1-0 for the first 3 quarters. Longwood comes back with an equalizer in the 4th, and then the Bobcats get the goal with about 5 minutes to go. They win this one 2-1 over MacFo Longwood.
Oh, man, that was a fun one. Seemed like Ohio was going to be dominating for the most part of the way through, maybe throwing a goal in that 4th, but Longwood, big props to the Lancers, stayed within it, stayed within themselves, made a few key adjustments to keep themselves in the ball game late, tied it up, but luckily for Ohio, the offensive push, the aggression was there all game long and stayed true in the final closing minutes in order to get that big goal. Big win for Ohio at home today.
Lancers fall to 5-5 overall, 1-1 in Mid-American Conference play. Next up for Longwood is a date with Appalachian State at noon next Saturday at home in Farmville, Virginia. For Ohio, the Bobcats are 5-3, 2-1 in MAC play. Tomorrow is their next contest, welcoming in-state rival Ohio State, currently ranked number 15 by the National Field Hockey Coaches Association. That one's at 2 o'clock here at Pruitt Field and on Bobcat TV. Brad, your final thoughts from this one as we look forward to Ohio State tomorrow?
I feel Ohio has to come out with a lot of aggression again tomorrow. Stay comfortable, stay relaxed. There's a few key moments late in this game that the communication seemed to be struggling a bit for Ohio, but I think that is something that they will definitely clear up and think about heading into tomorrow's contest with the Buckeyes. But no matter what, Ohio's got confidence, should be riding high after the tough win today.
So like I mentioned, tomorrow's game here at Pruitt Field. If you can't join us at Pruitt Field, we'll be on Bobcat TV. It'll be myself and Brandon Monty on the call starting at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. For Brad Walker, I've been Noah Wolf. It's been a pleasure having you with us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from here at Pruitt.